Hello, Alex. Welcome to Poland. Again, nice to see you. First of all, please tell us how serious are you about staging the fight, Aleksander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois in Poland? How serious is it?
Completely serious. I tell you why. Actually, the reason for my visit here is to see Andrzej Wasilewski and to explore the opportunities of putting this fight here in Poland. Putting things together, making the strategic plan of how it should happen, the date, the venue, the approach, how to organize the event, not just the boxing side, but the whole organizational side. And the biggest argument on this side is that when we announced this idea to the champion, to Aleksander Usyk, he accepted it with great enthusiasm. He was so happy to hear that this idea is in the air, and at some point he can put this fight in Poland, and it will be a home fight for him, because unfortunately, due to the circumstances we are having in Ukraine, it's impossible to organize anything big in our country until the war is finished. So Poland is our brother country. Poland is our friend. Andrzej Wasilewski is our brother. And putting all these efforts together will give us the opportunity to organize this fight in Poland. We cannot state at this stage that it will definitely take place here in Poland, but we are now working hard on it. We are trying to make it happen. And within a certain period of time in the future, we will inform the public through the media regarding what was worked out.
Okay, the WBA set the deadline for the negotiations on May the 2nd, I think. So I suppose 3rd. Okay, May the 3rd. So I suppose we'll get an information about the location of this fight pretty soon.
Definitely, yes. We have sent the offer to Queensberry. Today we are waiting for the final feedback from them, if they accept it or not. If they accept it, then we have a deal. If they do not, then we go to the first bid. We will probably call the immediate first bid without waiting for the final deadline. And we go from it. If we are happy and God gives us the opportunity to win the first bid, then we will be in charge of everything, and most likely this fight gonna happen in Poland.
Okay. In one of your previous interviews, you revealed that there are other two optional locations, like Saudi Arabia and the UK. Saudi Arabia, of course, is the big money, and the UK is the biggest boxing market in Europe, maybe even in the whole world. So, what makes Poland an interesting location for you for this fight?
So, let's base on your statement that UK is the biggest European boxing market, where you are completely right. Why? Because UK can generate the biggest revenue on pay-per-view. It means that every location that was mentioned, including UK, Poland, and Middle East, would use UK pay-per-view as the main source of income. So the place of the fight taking place, no, it doesn't sound good. The place where the fight is happening does not matter much, because if this fight is interesting for the UK fans to watch and to pay for watching, it means that this fight can generate some substantial revenue. Like, for example, the rematch between Aleksander Usyk and Anthony Joshua, which generated some very, very, very serious money amount of views in the UK. So if we base on this, it means that if it's Saudi Arabia or Qatar, which we discussed, or if it's Poland, doesn't make big substantial difference for the UK fans to watch it on pay-per-view. The other sources of income, like gate, tickets, and sponsorship, to some extent, there shouldn't be a substantial difference in the numbers. That's why we can explore all those opportunities and choose which the best one, but not commercially, but on a basic platform that unites all the approaches like financial, social, mental. What comes from the heart of the champion is very important as well.
Mm-hmm. And how is champion doing right now? We know he had hard preparation for the fight against Fury, which didn't happen. What is doing right now?
Unfortunately, it did not. But we used to take things like whatever God gives us is the best. And that's how Usyk treats this matter as well. So he was lucky, he was happy to leave the training camp because it's very difficult to stay in that regime for 3 months. Mentally, physically, he was happy to leave it, to come back home, to see his wife, to come back to his normal everyday business he's doing in Ukraine, helping people who suffered from the war, rebuilding houses, taking active part in with militaries, attending hospitals, meeting with guys, just supporting them, things like that. So after that, he visited his kids in Spain and came back to Ukraine again.
Okay, and the final question: provided Usyk beats Daniel Dubois in July, how do you think this big heavyweight tournament in Saudi Arabia can come to fruition in December?
There is a very big opportunity and possibility for it to take place, and I tell you why. Normally, when we talk about something huge, something extraordinary, something that never happened before, it starts with a dream. Then the dream is somehow transformed to the plan, and then the plan is implemented in the reality. Normally, it always goes like this. So this is not an exception. According to my understanding, there are going to be a bunch of obstacles in making this fight night real. But I don't think it's impossible. Everything is possible, and if all the parties treated properly, treated right, and some of the guys who are behind your right shoulder give their consent. I'm not meaning the one who's standing with the bag, but the one who opened his his mouth with the green glove. Yeah, if he treats it serious and if he's not scared to step into the ring with Usyk, earning the biggest amount of money that he ever made for one fight in his career, then we're gonna have the fight.
Okay, we all know it's all about money. So do you think if Tyson Fury gets this kind of money he wants, we'll finally see him in the ring against Usyk?
I must disagree with you. It's not about money, because Tyson Fury was offered the biggest money to fight Usyk in Saudi Arabia in February, but this fight unfortunately didn't take place. And the money he was offered was the biggest money that he was ever offered. It was the money that would exceed all of his expectations and all of his previous revenues. But at the end of the day, the fight didn't happen. The offer that Usyk accepted in London was also quite substantial money for Tyson Fury. But the fight didn't happen.
What makes you feel he will agree to fight Usyk in December in Saudi Arabia?
Nothing. I have no confidence in that. He's a very complex personality. He's very, let's say, uncommon man in boxing. But the good thing about him is that he is an expert in boxing. And he knows boxing from inside very well. He knows the history of boxing. He knows, well, we can treat him as a good boxing expert. And taking this into consideration, we should realize that if he is the man who understands boxing, he realizes that Usyk is the biggest threat for him. And it's not just about money, because getting money for one fight and retiring forever, maybe it's an approach. But if your ego is that big, and if you have some kind of dignity, or it's just about fame and glory, then you would probably think twice or three times, jeopardizing your future of unbeaten champion and just selling it for money. Because with Usyk, he does understand that Usyk is his biggest threat in boxing now. And stepping into the ring has to be considered really, really, really thoroughly from Tyson's point. That's why we are not confident. We can't say it might happen. It's all up to the Lord to decide.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente, con una pasión tan fuerte.